Twinkly Twinkly. Will Micheál Martin's doing Twinkly Twinkly?
Yep, they're going to open with twinkles.
Well, Twinkly Twinkly. And he'll do the twinkly fingers and everything.
He can't wear sequins because I wore his top.
You're very welcome back. Posh sausage rolls, cranberry relish, Parmesan cheese straws. Gareth, you fancy finger food for us?
Enjoy that guy, Brad. That was good.
That's funny, sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
This top, it'll be just amazing.
He should do it.
He should.
Next day to the nation of
Yeah,
death.
exactly. So what we're doing is,
tonight.
I think some good things to have in the freezer over Christmas are sausage rolls. Really simple to make, and they can be made ahead of time, which I also think is really cool. So, shop-bought puff pastry. Life is too short for trying to make puff pastry at home. They also say never try and use puff pastry under lights because it's better if it's cold. So when you're using it, use it from the fridge. So this is just an egg that I've beaten with a pastry brush, and I'm going to brush the puff pastry, show you how to roll a sausage roll. So what I have in here is that it's basically stuffing. So it's onion, apricot, breadcrumbs and sausage meat. So if you had some stuffing left over and you had some sausage meat, mix them together. I've just put them into a pointing bag. If you don't have these pointing bags, you could just spoon it on. And then I've brushed my puff pastry with some egg wash.
So
and then
when you say sausage, would you literally cut open sausage out of the skin?
You can, but like at this time of year now, all the supermarkets have 500 gram tubes of sausage meat for stuffing, exactly.
Okay.
But if you were stuck and you hadn't got that, all you do is just take a knife and cut the skins and let the sausage.
And your apricot, then, do you have a blended or would you mash it up?
Just chop it up. And if you know that your kids aren't going to eat it with apricot in it, and I actually put chestnuts in this as well, or you could put cranberries, or you could keep it nice and simple and do just sage and onion, or if you want to just do sausage meat on its own, this is also perfect. And then we just pipe along, which gives you the sausage shape. So you can see why these little disposable pointing bags is very handy. And then you just use the parchment paper that it comes on, let it fall over, and then this pastry is quite soft because it's been under the lights. You give it a press, and then a sharp knife. We have a sausage roll. So what I would do normally now is I'd stick that in the fridge and I'd let it set because it's a bit easier to cut up. So after you stick it in the fridge for half an hour, the butter that's in the pastry will go hard and it'll be much easier to cut up. But
you can just slice it through.
Exactly. We're just going to cut it up and then onto it. So if I was going to put these in the freezer, if I was going to make these next week and I wanted to make a good few of them to have them in the freezer.
Freeze them up like this?
Exactly. I'd stick them in the fridge, let them set, and then I'd put them into the freezer.
What if your pastry is bought and you've already thought it out and you're making this?
Yeah, so don't do that. So like most of the supermarkets now sell puff pastry in the freezer, but they also sell it in the chilled section. If I was going to be making puff pastry to freeze, that was a really good question.
Yeah,
right?
I'm actually confused. What do you mean?
Thanks, sir. If you go and if you buy frozen puff pastry, and you were to go and do what he did, and you're going to freeze these before you cook them ahead of next week.
You're freezing twice.
You're double freezing. So don't do that. So you get out of the chilled section first, and then you can stick it in the freezer for the next couple of weeks until someone shows up at your door looking for sausage rolls.
Exactly. Someone shows up at your door. So the next thing that I'm going to show you with puff pastry again is really handy. You've already tried them. Is cheese straws.
They're beautiful.
These are really cool, I think, to make for if your friends coming over. Really.
Why are they all the way over there?
Yeah, well, I want to.
We've been picking, you see.
Exactly.
And we can't be asking questions about
So the easiest thing in the world to make. So
Okay.
I've brushed the pastry again, and I've got some Parmesan cheese. I'm going to sprinkle that on the top. Plenty of Parmesan, a little bit of salt. This is kind of food to have with some drinks. So I would say over-season them almost, because the pastry is nice and light, and then the Parmesan is salty, but I've also put a little bit of salt on. And then we're just going to cut them into strips. When the pastry is a bit colder, it won't jump around like that. And then all you do is pick it up. The cheese is stuck on. Twist it a couple of times onto a tray and press it at either end.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, so we'll do another one. So a couple of twists.
This is grand. I thought this was going to be a big job. That's lovely.
No, it's easy. But you know what? Like, you can buy them in the supermarket and they're overpriced, in my view.
You could just do it yourself.
Well, I think they're better. But maybe you don't like Parmesan, you like cheddar, or maybe you want to put little pieces of ground up Gruyere, or, you know, little bits of hard goat cheese, or pick some of the wonderful Irish cheese that's around, even though I just named 2 non-Irish ones. But get some Irish cheese, put it on, twist them, and then, very important when we come to pastry, make sure your oven is preheated. Really important, because we want that heat to react with the butter, and that's what makes it puff up.
Okay.
And then pop it into the oven. and then we're going to bake them for 12 to 15 minutes.
Same for the sticks as the...
Yeah, the sticks will take a little bit longer. Less, sorry.
Okay, yeah.
Because we're trying to cook some pork meat inside this one, so I'm just going to put that to one side. And then some other little nice things, I think.
Did you glaze them or anything? No.
That's the egg wash.
Oh, that's all.
Sorry,
did you go back over it?
I didn't glaze those ones. There's another wonderful question.
You're so paying attention.
So yeah, so you just brush the top of them. I'm not going to take them back out. But brush the top of them with a little bit of egg white, and then I sprinkle them with some sesame seeds, exactly. But again, if you don't like sesame seeds, don't put them on. The cranberry sauce that I had to hand here now is over there, so
Sorry, I had to start to eat because I was starving.
So the cranberry sauce, really simple thing to make. So you'll see in the supermarkets now over the next coming weeks, fresh cranberries. Try and buy them fresh into a pot. They're normally come in 250ml bags with a nip of port or brandy, a couple of tablespoons of brown sugar, and some spices. I like to put cinnamon, star anise, and then bring it up to the boil. That's fresh cranberry sauce that you've made yourself. And then into a jar, into the fridge. I pureed this one because I want people to dip it in.
Just so kind of saucy rather than like what you would get with your dinner or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe you take half of it and leave it with pieces in it for your Christmas dinner, but the rest of it pureed up. Some nice olives, always very handy to have in the fridge at this time of year. So I'm putting together a platter here where we would put the cheese straws in a glass. So you imagine you're about to sit down, this goes in front of you, you're sticking on your sparkly jumper, the Christmas movie is coming on. Or you're having friends over, put this in the centre of the table.
Put me, Sarah Jessica Parker, and this. Something cold in my hands. Nice frosty glass of
ice. Biscuits, doesn't it?
Oh, exactly. Sure does.
And then just to bring your cheese to life a little bit, so whatever, I've used some flat or some crisp bread here that we make in work, but whatever crackers that you like to eat. And then I've just got some roasted walnuts. And then I have a little bit of blue cheese on here.
Caramelised nearly, are they?
Yeah, these ones are candied. You can buy them. But also roasted ones is fine. And then just a little bit of honey. And this is just going to give a little bit of a different flavour and texture. I think we're nearly done.
We need to wrap up and remind people you can catch Gareth's full recipes over on the 6 o'clock show Facebook page, I'm guessing. Their Facebook page. You can give it a rewatch on YouTube as well. Just search for VMTV Food.
That's all for tonight. Thank you so much for watching.
Sparkly.
Huge thank you to all of our guests again, and be sure to check in with Martin tomorrow. He's going to be chatting to Craig David and Bosco.
What a mix. Two absolute icons and the lineup. That's all we've got for now. Have a lovely evening. We'll talk to you tomorrow from 6 here on Virgin Media 1.
Yes, get it over here.
Me and Martin's going to be wearing the sparkly top tonight.
We'll fight over it.